Here to bring a program that nature knows more incurable diseases. Yes, nature knows more incurable disease. Why do we say this? Is it a theory? Is it just a bare statement without a fact to trace on? Yeah, it's good to understand that reality is as old as creation. And from creation, almost all religion, even the holy books, they come to an agreement that man came from the soil. And coming from the soil, this structure that was created, it has to be sustained through something. And how do we have that interconnection and sustenance of this structure called human being or the man? We need to have an interconnection between man and the soil. And that's why we have now the plants. Actually, almost all the minerals that are found through the nature are also found within man. And they comprise now what we call man. And actually, to be precise, around 93% of all the minerals of all the elements that are found in man are either carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. And also the 7% comprise of the other essential elements in the body that are calcium, potassium, sodium, and all such. And for interconnection of this, man will always need plants that contains all these elements. And they can be taken through food, through drugs, so that now, actually, when all these, God was so specific in his creation plan, he knew the specific quantities of these elements in the body, to which when they are exceeded, either to the hyper side, the functioning of the body becomes abnormal. When they go to the lowest, now we have an alteration of the same. And therefore, for man to function well, all these elements and the composition, they must be in the right quantities. And when there is an alteration, because we know the source of this, then it means the cure of the same is found in the nature. And therefore, plants being the only way we can connect man with the soil, we get now the cure for the same to correct an alteration either in composition or the same in terms of quantity or quality. And that's why we have now every confidence that nature knows no incurable disease. Nature not only manages a situation, it also cures and stabilizes it to the original, normal quality of functionality.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you. That's rightly said. When Dr. Zomo speaks about the connection between man and soil, because we made of soil, we have to be connected back. And of course, you can't go down and start eating soil, but you have to consume something that consumes soil. That's why the Holy Scriptures from the Bible, Psalms 104, verse 14, speaks that God makes the grass grow for livestock and also causes vegetation grow for the consumption of man for his maintenance. It is in the Scripture. Now, one major thing that we have ignored and we have missed is that from the statement earlier said that reality is as old as creation. Everything was created with its solution built in it. Man created, put on this earth. I believe God is a better manager than any of us. And every time we go to an estate or a city, there are social amenities and we have hospitals and the kind. So when God was putting man into place, he had hospitals within the structure of creation. And I believe that hospital is in the food we eat. Hippocrates, the inventor of medicine, says, let medicine be your food and let food be your medicine. So what we eat makes us what we become. And we are the result of what we eat, because most of the times we take things that do not assimilate with our human nature. And if I were to come a bit close, technology has taken us so much away from reality. We have we having GMOs, genetically modified, and we every food we are eating is genetically modified, and no wonder you are unable to plant the seed that we get from that which we plant back to the soil. We have to go back to the veterinary to get seeds to plant again. Before these inventions and these technologies came across, we would plant food, and the foods that would come out of it would take the seeds and plant again. But now you can't plant. We have planted our own solutions. We have destroyed our own answers to health, and we cannot escape it if we can go back to the first facts that we are made of nature, and if anything has to be consistent in our bodies, we have to allow the fullness of nature to operate within us and to guide every function of our bodies. Now, why do we say that all diseases are curable? How possible is this? Because we know that it's said out there that there are diseases that are incurable. And I see, we'll pick maybe some, like we have arthritis, we have asthma, they say it's not curable, blood pressure, tonsillitis, prostate enlargement, people have to be operated, and many others and all that, and people are told they are not curable. I have this statement to make. They are curable. Nature as medicine that gives 100% efficacy in treating any disease. But we cannot achieve this without looking at the reason why we get sick. Because majorly, people approach sickness from a wrong angle altogether. They ask, what causes diseases? That's a wrong question. Because if you ask what causes diseases, you'll have to go back to school and take 15, 20 years studying every pathogen available in the human race. The germs and their names, the viruses with their names, the bacteria with their names, and synonyms, everything that is related to. And we will spend all our time studying the names of viruses and germs and bacteria, and we will be locked out of hope that there is a possibility of a cure. But there's only one question to address when it comes to health. Why do people get sick? If you answer that simple question, then you have an answer to every disease available and known to human beings.
So, why people get sick? Nature, just like Dr. Ezekiel has just said, nature has a way of fighting back. And it's simple. Once you neglect nature, nature will fight back. And therefore, if we understand how to deal with nature, then we'll always have the right answers to why people get sick.
Exactly. There is, and most of us know, the aerobic and anaerobic respiration, and how the human cell works and operates. It respires aerobically, that uses oxygen, so it survives on oxygen. And also pathogens, most of them thrive in anaerobically, so they thrive in acidic environment. So when our body state becomes acidic, that's when the trouble begins. Because when it becomes acidic, it means your fighter cells cannot function as they're supposed to do. They cannot fight back with all their energy. Actually, they are weak. And that is what is happening, that our bodies are too acidic. Because of how we eat, because of how we live. And also, I'm sorry, but I have to say, because of the medicine that we put into our bodies. So our bodies are so acidic. And because of that, it means that our cells are unable to fight back. They are unable to protect us the way they should. And thirdly, then we give a better environment to pathogens to operate, so that if it's a virus, if it's a germ, if it's a bacterial, if it's a carcinogen, it will free radical, it will work better. And cancer is pumping everyone across the world, and because of the state of our bodies, too acidic. And so what you eat determines how far you go. Now, let's talk about the acidic environment. If your body is acidic, that's the reason why you get sick. Actually, so to say, there is only one culprit to sickness. It's called an acidic environment, acidic body. This is what brings what you call mucus plaque. And when mucus plaque is there, you are in trouble. If it covers your chest, bronchitis, ear, sinus, it covers your prostate enlargement, and all that kind of thing. So the culprit is an acidic environment. Because someone asked me, and would that cause bacteria? Of course, yes, because bacteria and viruses and germs, the harmful ones, they are all over. And they can only thrive if the environment is acidic, because that's their playground. And when your body is acidic, that means that your body cells, your fighter cells are weakened. It's like giving your watchman, your guard, some wine, and they call it, we have 40% alcohol content, and they drink and tell them, come on, protect me. That's what we do when we take acidic foods into our bodies and drinks. We make them so weak they cannot function if they're supposed to do. And then what happens? It's like pulling down the perimeter wall, and everything, every plant, every rubber jumps in the name of germs and bacteria and virus and free radicals, carcinogens and all that, and they come in and they bring you down. And what happens next? We go to look for solutions. We want to have medicine to help us deal with this culprit that came in the name of, because of acidity in our body system. And so we also get drugs that are full of chemicals, that are not natural, in that they cannot assimilate with our natural nature. If we can say that. And so we make the situation more worse than it was when we were getting sick. So we make the body a dumping site to every acidic substance available. And that is why you find that in most of the diseases, it is said that you can't cure, you can only manage. What does that mean? It means it is symptomatic solution given, not a cure. Because if you can get a relief from a condition, it means you can cure it. Management means you manipulate the state of the body of that specific organ, so to say. So that's what has happened, and we are holding to such popular statement that most diseases are incurable. But I request to differ with that. And I stand with this very slogan: nature knows no incurable disease. We'll be coming back. We are going for a break, and we'll be back. And when we are back, we'll go into details to explain some of the facts that we have shared with you here. And I believe you will come to the understanding that we give this claim up that nature knows no incurable disease. Thank you.
You are watching M Channel TV. Experience the moment.
Naam, nashukuru kupata nafasi hii. Niwasalimie wakaji wote wa jimbo hili la Kiambu na niwaambie nitakuwa katika kinyang'anyiro cha uchaguzi unaokuja nikiwania kiti ya governor hapa jimbo la Kiambu. Kwanza ningependa turudishe mahospitali yetu mahali tulioachia, tuweze kuongeza madawa, tuweze kuhakikisha mashini zote za X-ray, CT scan na nyingine zinafanya kazi. Pili ni kuweza kuleta biashara fund ambayo tutaita Kiambu Fuliza Fund. Kwa mfano ukichukua 30,000 unarudisha baada ya mwezi 3 unarudisha shilingi 31,000 ndio wenzako nao waweza kupata, tuinue hali ya maisha. Hiyo ndio kazi tutafanya. Tuondoe uchafu, tutengeneze makao ya watu na tuweze kutengeneza mabarabara zetu zote hapa katika jimbo la Kiambu. Ndipo tunasema kava kabogo.
You are watching M Channel TV. Experience the moment.
Back from the break, be talking about some few things about natural medicine, and recalling from what Dr. Ezekiel just said concerning the genetic modified foods and such. We cannot always run away from the fact of God's intelligence. Even you remember from the story of Noah and the story of creation from the time of Adam, it talked of plant. Man should eat plant that has seed. Why seed? Why do you need, this basic information, this basic knowledge you ignore, they carry a lot of healing. Initially, before technology advancement, we did not hear of very many incurable diseases such as cancer and such. But now, even with, and people who are still living, what changed? What changed? There was no science, there was no such, but still men lived, survived, and people got sick and they were treated. What happened? Those are some of the facts we cannot underlook. Why? Because man has authority and nature responds to that. There is special power in trees. And one thing about medicine, much as we have advancement in medicine, we have advancement in technology, you can never underlook natural medicine. Because now we look at how things are. Why do we need to have natural medicine? Number one, there are so many benefits that accompany natural medicine. Number one is the availability of it. You can never run away from the treasures and the resources that are found in the trees. And trees are all over.
Wow.
But now the big challenge is now out of craftiness of man, they ignore the treasures. And therefore, that's why Alpha Cures is there to preserve this hidden treasure. Because wealth of a man is in the health. If you don't safeguard the health of a man, then it means that you're not going to control the level of poverty of that person. And that's why nature is there to provide a solution because of its readily availability and there is no complication. So long as you answer the question, why people get sick, then nature will always have answer and solution to that. The other thing we need to understand is that we say from the first point in our discussion is that man, it comes from the soil, and therefore anything that comes from the soil, so long as the soil is preserved and we have keen control over the plants, then it means what comes from the soil, that is the plants, it means they carry the solution. And therefore, when you talk about finding solution from the nature, it means the dangers of consuming plants, the dangers of getting drugs to correct now conditions of a human body coming from plants, then it means that they are very limited. And therefore, we can never underlook the advantage of being danger free. It actually, instead of accumulating toxins in the body that increase the acidity levels and environment in the body, actually it detoxifies that. We have so many plants that are used to detoxify and make the environment of the body so alkaline, and actually we have such in plenty in alpha cures, and that's why we have so much confidence. Men you can argue with facts, but you can never argue with results, and that's why alpha cures, we are positioned at such a time to offer results, and that's why we are confident and bold enough to say nature knows no incurable disease.
Wow, this wonderful statement. It's shocking the fact that we take it live, knowing that the wealth of a man is in his or her health. That means we should protect it with everything we got. Our understanding, our reasoning, our actions, our deliberate movement should dictate the purpose and the will of what we want to be. Dr. Zomo spoke about how technology, that I would call, as altered that which was supposed to make us better when the GMOs were introduced and many other things. What is making people so sick is one single reason that I brought across. And I say why we get sick is because our bodies get acidic. If you go to any shop, supermarkets, try to check what is being sold. It is so painful to see even our children take some juices which are not natural. They could be called any name, like orange juice or banana juice or whatever juice they are called, but they are not natural. They are made with chemicals, and flavors are added on, and our children are consuming these. We feel so good when we buy them. It's like a token for any good doing, and we give them. They keep on consuming. So the young children, their cells start becoming so acidic from so young, and that's why you get people under 10, children being on insulin. I mean, their body organs have been exposed to so much damage that they can't hold together, and their pancreases are failing. The body is developing what you call autoimmune, and the children cannot survive for long. And it's upon us to be careful on what we eat, what we take in, because I repeat it, you are what you eat. You can change who you are by what you consume. Most of the people, one man called me, a senior man in this government, and he told me, Lazarus, you keep on talking about taking vegetables and taking fruits and all that. And I've been taking all that, and I was diagnosed with cancer. How is that possible? Yes, it is possible. Because what are we calling vegetables? What are we calling vegetables? GMO, genetically modified. You can't replant. You can't take seeds out of them and plant. The maize that we have now, the beans, the green grams, all these, we have to get them from the vet. We plant them. We have to manage them with spraying and fertilizers. The compost manure is becoming something of the old. And when they grow up, even the shelf life is, we have to assist it to take some more days. And you cannot plant, if you plant maize, whatever comes out, you can't plant it again. You go to the vet to get another seed to plant because it is dead. It's like it has 2 nutrients in it. Yeah, because you got to manage it by using the fertilizer. And how many minerals are in the fertilizer? I don't want to mention that. And we have to keep on spraying it. So what's happening? A plant, a food with about 2 nutrients, 2 minerals in it, and it's oversprayed with a lot of pesticides, so carcinogens are filled in there, and we eat and we expect results. It's not possible. It's total lie. It's not possible. So I asked him, what have you been taking? He said, I take apple. And the doctor said, take an apple per every day and keep the surgeon away. Right. He said it right. But look at the apples we have. Apple is one of the most prayed fruits on planet Earth now. It wasn't before, but now it's one of the most prayed fruits with a lot of pesticide. So what are we taking? Chemical in, pesticide, and we are taking it in, and we want results. And when it fails, people start saying this thing of nutrition is just a fake campaign. In the end, no, it is how we plant what we eat. So, what do I say? I would encourage each and every one of us. Let's try to go back as close as we can to nature, because that is where the solution is. And in our next program, we'll be sharing on details on how to get cured and what plants can cure things like cancer and things like that, and all those documentaries. That information you can Google and find it's true. But what we are speaking today, as we bring introduction to this program, is that nature knows no incurable disease. If you want to be away from disease, keep nature as close as you can. If it's plants, we have to take them, and vegetables and fruits and all that. Make sure you take it at its natural state. Like Dr. Nzomo said, God said in the beginning, He told man, eat fruits that have seed in them. What's happening now? Seedless fruits. And we expect the results that God said. He said fruits with seeds in them. What's happening with the technology? Taking seeds out of foods, and we want them to function as they were designed to function. The molecular formula is all altered. It can't give the results we desire. Let's get as close as we can to nature, and disease will run away, because our bodies have been structured in a way that they can cure themselves if they are given the right food, the right components. And Dr. Nzomo talked about carbon, hydrogen, oxygen being the main ones, and you cannot get them out of chemicals. They have to come from nature, from the cell, and it is through the plants. Thank you so much for watching this program. Let's meet again next week on Sunday, 8:30 p.m. on our program that nature knows no incurable disease. God bless you.
Hello, my name is Dr. Lazarus of Alpha Natural Cures, and I'm with my colleague, Dr. Nzomo. Thank you. Here we want to bring you a very important factor that people have wondered whether it is possible that all diseases can be curable. And in Alpha Natural Cures, we have one slogan that states that nature knows no incurable diseases.
And so we will bring a program on how nature and human beings are interconnected. Yes, nature and human beings.
Exactly. Join us on Sunday, 8:30 p.m. East African time, where we'll come and explain how possible it is that we can cure all diseases known to human beings. It is possible. It is doable because nature gives us answers to everything that we need. Facts and realities are as old as creation.